Hello racing friends from around the world, I'm Forza Erwin and welcome to my channel Racing from Home. Today's video is about Forza Motorsport and how are the impressions on the wheel. So since last Monday a lot of previews came out and also from quite a bunch of people that were using the wheel. And for that I am super interested. So although I didn't get the chance to pay it sadly, I was able of course to watch all the videos, collect all the information, etc. So one of the few things that are important when you're on a wheel to get an indication how good the wheel is, the feedback, is how the controller is matching, let's say, the wheel or the other way around. And normally with Forza Motorsport that wasn't really great, right? In the previous Forzas the controller was always in an advantage, and yeah, that was quite frustrating. But now it seems that the controller and the wheel are much closer.
Will that help people who are also like non-controller and who just want to use like steering wheel guys? Will that help them as well?
Oh, more so than anyone else. So I think what has been great about Forza is we've had some of the best steering implementation on, or driving implementation on a controller or gamepad, bar none. I think the controller feel has always been great, both on Horizon and Motorsport.
Today we're going to ditch the controller and give this a try. Now if I was going to get anywhere near my controller pace, then that would probably be a good sign that the wheel is a good input method. Completing some laps here, getting some good consistency, a 103.9 on that lap. The following lap, a 104.0, so very good consistency. Now as a comparison, this was one of my better laps on a controller, which was a mid 103, and that really is about the same as I was doing on the wheel. So as a pace comparison to the controller, I think the wheel really doesn't seem to be too far away. Of course, we have to do a bit more testing on this to really know which one is better, but for the time being, it seems like they're fairly close.
No way! I just did an identical time on a controller. Literally not even 0.01 seconds off. That was identical.
Experience generally feels good, but for me personally, I found it easier to race with a wheel.
Feedback am Lenkrad gibt eigentlich einem schon ganz gut mit, wann man Grip hat und wann nicht. Also ich würde sogar fast behaupten, ich schaff's mit dem Lenkrad besser zu starten mit dem Civic wie mit dem Controller.
So a couple of conclusions. The consistency on the wheel is actually very nice, and also the gap between the wheel and the controller has massively decreased compared to the other Forzas. But the biggest gains were on the wheel part. The controller, like Chris was mentioning, was already good, but the wheel feel as a whole needed to be much better.
We have found additional gains in terms of gameplay and feel is with the wheel, with these new tire changes. So wheel has the ability to really pull out the last bits of fidelity in the tire model and all the suspension modeling to really understand the car dynamics a lot more this time around.
The feeling is good to me. I think there's stability. It feels easy enough to drive on a wheel. Like I really must reiterate here that Forza is something is a game I've always played on a controller in chase cam. So playing on a wheel with pedals and a wheel is not normal for me. But I feel like I've got used to this quite quickly.
What's actually fun about this car, if you're new to the channel, this is sort of kind of the car I have in real life. So in theory, I should be able to give an accurate idea of what the car is like to drive in real life and compare it to the actual game. And I've recently been doing a whole bunch of track driving in real life, so we can always, you know, implement some of those things as well. Based on early impressions though, from driving with a wheel in this game, I can say it's actually really nice.
It's so meaty. Maybe because I haven't been on the sim in a long time, but it just feels like I'm behind, you know, a great piece of machinery here. It just feels so thick and solid. That's kind of a weird way to explain it, but that's how I'm feeling right here. It just feels heavy. You feel like you're really in this gigantic race car. We're gonna be cowed. I'm in love. I can already tell you that. I am in love. I'm so in love. I'm gonna spank the rear end of the cars in front of me. I'm gonna try to get around this Porsche here. Beautiful into the front straight. Oh my goodness, dude. Woo!
Corvette E-Ray I was able to drive for just a lap or so in the intro felt incredible, exactly how I wanted it to feel. So maybe this is just more of a car-specific thing, and better upgrades and tuning combined with some more finely tuned wheel settings can further bring out that feeling I was able to get in the Corvette.
So after seeing multiple people playing the game, I think the general conclusion is that the game's actually feeling really nice. What you see also is that people are already fine-tuning their settings on the wheel, and some people just step in and go with the standard settings, which is also impressive because normally you need a lot of work with fine-tuning your settings, and that's what I did for a long time on Forza 7 just to get the general force feedback right. But then the physics were not right, so you're not there completely yet. What you see happening now in the next couple clips is that the fine-tuning in settings will definitely give you an improved feeling on the wheel. And I think that is key to get the next Forza Motorsport to give you the feeling that you actually want in the game. But up till now, the impressions by with change settings and without are very good and looks very promising. The cars feels natural to drive.
There's quite a lot of settings here, and there's probably not enough time to really go through everyone in absolute detail. But I do think that these are really the secret to making the wheel feel and the game feel much more realistic. So at the moment I'm getting a very heavy feeling in the car, so we're going to lower this wheel damping scale, put that way down, and immediately that makes the car feel a lot nicer. It definitely felt way too heavy before. I could still get those big oversteer moments which are hard to control, but so I mentioned that the curbs feel somewhat muted, and we could probably change that here. Let's put this up to, let's maximize it, go up to 200 and see what that feels like. Because Mugello has quite a lot of curbs that you do want to actually run, especially for this first sector. And yeah, that does come through a lot stronger now. So I can definitely I can really feel the detail, especially running over that yellow bump. So turning up this road scale setting, I think, has improved the feel. There's no question about that.
So I felt confident that Motorsport would deliver an improved experience as well. And it does, if you mess with the settings. Now, maybe my wheel specifically just isn't set up well out of the box, but the default experience was not good, and only improved with a lot of tweaks. You can see all my settings here if you're curious, but I definitely still feel like there's some more adjusting to be done. With these settings though, the wheel feels fantastic. Miles better than FM7 ever did, and at its best it does kind of trade some punches with the greats like Assetto Corsa or GT7, which in my opinion has a phenomenal out-of-the-box wheel feel. In Motorsport you have a great sense for oversteer and can control and manage power slides pretty easily, which is often one of the bigger tells for me. Cornering often feels very stable and controllable, straight line stability feels on point.
Going down the straight here, for example, it actually feels quite stable in a straight line. There's no real dead zone, so I feel actually quite comfortable driving on the straight. I know that sounds weird, but some games it is actually quite hard to drive in a straight line, or even when you're slightly turning.
We end off just with a video with a guy, I think from Spain, playing in the wheel. You can see him having fun also on the wheel, and you can see him fighting with the wheel. All seems very natural. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and hope to see you on the next video. Bye bye.
Sanción no va a ser, digo yo, casi lo pierdo. Ahí está. Cada vez que tienes colisiones o salidas de pista parece lo del penalti, dando vueltas y diciendo tienes o no tienes sanción, que no sé yo cómo va a funcionar esa historia. Vale. Derrapa un montón el coche de momento. El tema es que derrapa, pero después se pone recto. Se pone muy recto cuando deja de derrapar. ¡Ay, Dios mío! Joder, vengo de Subaru, que agrava un montón, y esto es todo lo contrario. Venga, va, última vuelta. Esto es a tope con este cacharro. A ver. Ahí está, sí. Sí, aunque justo... ¿Cómo? ¿Cómo ha sonado eso? Me encanta. Venga, última vuelta, ¿eh? Estamos a 2 segundos del tiempo objetivo. Algo me dice que no lo hacemos, ¿eh? Vale, calma aquí. Ahí está, mejor, bien trazado ahora. Aunque sigue yéndose para afuera un montón. Nivel del coche 3, muy bien, muchas gracias. Muy lento esta parte, la verdad, pero bueno. Vamos, ánimo, gira. Ánimo. A ver, es un coche de calle, entre comillas, no es un coche de competición, no le puedes pedir milagros, a menos ahora como viene por defecto. Pero sí que es un poco doloroso de hacerlo girar, ¿eh? Y más viniendo de lo que venía, de lo que he estado corriendo con el Subaru de antes.